The reason I left Tanzania. Okay, so the number one reason why I left Tanzania is because I was getting scammed.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. And if you are coming across my video for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Recently, I have come across many videos from Black America who made their decision leaving African country. For many of them, it was not choice they wanted to make. It was a decision driven by the challenge and circumstances they experienced while living there. As someone who has always encouraged members of the African diaspora to reconnect with and even settle in their motherland, it is truly disappointment to hear this story. Africans should feel like a home, so it is difficulty to see people living or feeling discouraged. Today, I'd like to share my thoughts on what this lady had to say in the video and the reason they left African country. Let's take a close look at their experience and discuss what we can learn from them.
The reason I left Tanzania. Okay, so the number one reason why I left Tanzania is because I was getting scammed numerous times. Was I scammed? I left Tanzania and I've been back in the US for almost 2 months. And for me, it was the best decision that I could have ever made for my future and for my son's future. I was on Facebook and I saw that someone posted a picture of them holding up 500 T-shillings. It seemed like they were trying to say that's how much you would have to pay. You would only have to pay 500 T-shillings to fill up your car, which is, I think they said, less than 50 cents. The situation for me this time was a visa issue. And I'll go into that in another video. I just feel like it's so much to tell and I need to give the details of that. However, that situation was rectified for me, but at the last minute after I decided that I was leaving to go home. And there is, someone there in Tanzania that I believe would be great for diasporans to, to help them make sure that they get their visas and all the paperwork that they need, and to just, not get scammed, and someone that's trustworthy. As far as I am concerned, I did what was right for me and what was best for me. It didn't matter what anyone had to say to me.
The first thing that I didn't like is the immigration process. When I went to Tanzania, I already imprinted it in my brain that you're allowed to, from the research that I've done, that you're allowed to have 3 months there and then get extensions, which is a 30-day extension. It's supposed to be 2 30-day extensions for free. But once I got to the immigration, they had us wait there for 5 hours after telling us they could give us that time period, and we only got 2 weeks. After waiting 5 hours, we got a 2-week extension. So I had to maneuver myself from there, and it was just not pretty for me. I left the immigration office like literally in tears, because I was just like, it's just this, I pick up on vibrations and energy, and it's just like the immigration people just felt like they don't want me here. For whatever reason, whatever judgment they had of me, I don't think they want us as expats there. And that's just the honest truth, you guys. Like, they were laughing at me while I was crying. Like, it was just not funny. Maybe it was just the immigration officers that I dealt with, but it was just like, oh, okay, yeah. So that was like one of the first negative experiences for me there. But yeah, I thought I could, stay there a little bit longer just to feel it out. Now, let me tell you guys, I never, ever, ever had I had no expectations with coming to Africa. Like I told you guys, I had plans to move to Ghana. They changed their rules. I don't like how their president moves. So I decided to come over to go to Tanzania. Yeah, the immigration, like to have to leave every 3 months. I know this before going to Tanzania because it's everywhere, it's listed everywhere. But what I didn't take into was the expense that it would be to travel from country to country. I thought maybe it would be a little bit cheaper, but clearly it wasn't. I just never fit in, and I've been me all my life. This is me. And I'm always changing and growing. But who I am at the core, I can't change. So if I can't vibe with the culture and I feel judged by the culture half the time, it's just not gonna work long term for me. So that's one of the bigger reasons why I left too. Most of the expats were couples or males. So I met a guy, he was there from Europe. He had a business in Europe, but he lived in Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, come to find out, like, he was like bragging about how, you know, he can get certain favors from a girl in the community for little to nothing. And I don't mean sexual favors, but he was just bragging. And that's what he kind of like hinted at, but I didn't want to assume. But, you know, like, I think guys sometimes come to exploit the, white and black guys come there to exploit the community if, you know, they know like they can get a lot for little to nothing, you know, from whether it's company, sex, whatever, like they know this. So they go there to sometimes exploit. So being that I met some cool expats that were males too. That right there was like a big, I don't fit, you know, but I want to connect with like-minded people, and I also want to connect with the African culture and the African people, but because there was that language barrier, I couldn't connect with any of the Tanzanian people, and I'm sure that stopped me from meeting a bunch of good people, but I couldn't connect. So this was like a thing for me that I was just like, dang, you know, like it sucks. This is a bummer. It took a lot of effort coming to Africa, but I was just like, I just don't see myself happy here. I'm not happy. So I didn't know, like in my mind, I'm like, once I didn't feel welcome, I'm like, when can I escape? You know, because if you don't feel connected with the people, it's just like, what in the world am I doing here? Like, you know, I vibe with a few Tanzanian people, the ones who spoke English, and I didn't vibe with any diasporans, actually, not for long. So, you know, that's just what it is.
You have watched these ladies sharing their experience. I want to give my perspective, not to dismiss what they went through, but to help us understand why this thing happened, and more importantly, how we can do better. First, I think we as Africa need to understand something important. Not every black person who comes to Africa is coming to exploit the continent or take advantage of anyone. I don't believe that's true at all. Many black America come here because they want to reconnect with their roots, learn about their history, experience African culture, meet the people, and finally feel connected to the land of their ancestors. For many of them, this journey is deeply emotional. It's about identity healing and belonging. That is why I have a lot of respect for anyone from the diaspora who make the decision to move to Africa. It takes courage. Many people never even take the step because all the negative stereotypes they have heard about Africa over the years. So, when someone chooses to relocate despite those fears, I believe we should welcome them with open arms instead of making them regret their decision. Now let's talk about one of the biggest issues that was mentioned in the video, being scammed and constantly overcharged. Unfortunately, I have to be honest here. This does not only happen to black American, it happens to African too. In Kenya, where I am from, if someone thinks you are coming from abroad, they immediately assume you have money. It doesn't matter whether you are from Kenya living overseas or someone visiting from America or Europe. The price suddenly become different. Let's take me as an example. I work in other country like, let's say Tanzania. Then I walk into a shop. People assume I don't speak the local language. Before I even say a word, they increase the price, but the moment I start speaking the language, everything changes. Suddenly, they are embarrassed because they realize I understand exactly what they were trying to do. If this happened to me, imagine someone from the diaspora who doesn't know the language at all. That's why I completely understand why some people feel frustrated. This is something we as Africans have to stop excusing. We cannot complain when foreign exploit Africa while we ourselves are exploiting people who come to reconnect with us. If someone visits your country because they love Africa, the last thing they should experience is being treated like a walking ATM. To anyone from the diaspora who has experienced that, I sincerely apologize. We can't do that we can't do better than this. We can do better than this. Another issue that really stood out was immigration. Honestly, immigration office can be frustrating even for African citizens. When I was applying for my own passport, I deal with immigration officer who were rude, impatient, and sometimes disrespectful. Sometimes people in those positions forget that they are public servants. Instead of helping people, they make the process more stressful simply because they know you need their approval. That should not happen. If Africa wants to encourage more people from the diaspora to return, we have to improve customer service and treat everyone with dignity. One piece of advice I always give is this: whenever possible, handle your visa application and other things online. Many African countries now offer online immigration service. Doing it online can save you unnecessary stress and reduce interaction with officials who may not always be professional. Now let's talk about culture. Every African country is different. Tanzania has its own tradition. Uganda has its own tradition. Nigeria is different. Kenya is different. Ghana is different. South Africa is different. It is important for people to relocate to understand that Africa is not one culture. For example, Tanzania has a large Muslim population. So people may have more conservative expectation regarding a clothing and behavior. At the same time, people from the diaspora also arrive with different cultural experience. Neither side is wrong. They are simply different. I'm not saying anyone should stop being themselves. Absolutely not. But learning about local customs before relocating can make them transition much easier. And if one country does not feel like home, that's okay too. Africa is a huge continent. Your perfect fit might be Uganda, it might be Ghana, it might be Kenya, or somewhere completely different. Don't give up after one experience. The exploring until you find the place where you truly belong. I also believe Africans need to become more open-minded. I'll be honest. Before I got to know more people from the diaspora, there were things I have misunderstood. Sometimes I judge people simply because they spoke differently or behaved differently. But as I met more people, I realized those differences came from different life experience, not bad intentions. The more we understand each other, the stronger our connection becomes. Another thing I always tell people from the diaspora is this: please don't move to Africa expecting to immediately find a traditional job. Employment is already difficult for many Africans. In fact, Many Africans leave their continent because they are searching for better opportunity elsewhere. Instead, if you have a valuable skill, bring it with you. If you are good technology, take technology. If you are entrepreneur building business, if you are in a healthcare, education, agriculture, or engineering, share that knowledge. Create opportunity instead of waiting for opportunity. That benefit everyone. What really break my heart is seeing people arrive in Africa with so much hope only to leave feeling disappointed. That should not be our story. We should be known for welcoming our brothers and sisters home. Finally, I want to talk about discrimination. Some people describe what they experience as racism. Sometimes that's true, but in many situations, I think what we actually see is classism. There is a mindset in many African countries that people with lighter skin or people from Western countries automatically have more money. Because of the assumption they are treated differently. That mindset need to change. People should be respected because of their character, not because how much money we think they have. If we truly want Africa to become a welcoming home for the diaspora, then we have to be honest about our shortcomings. We have to fix our corruption. We have to stop exploiting visitors. We have to improve customer service. And we have to treat everyone with dignity and respect. Only then can we build the unite and future that so many of us dream about. So those are my thoughts on this whole situation. If I missed anything important, let me know in the comments. I'll genuinely love to hear your perspective because conversation like this help all of us learn. One thing I have learned is not take every negative experience personally. They will always be ignorant people everywhere, including in Africa. Don't let one bad encounter destroy your dream of reconnecting with your roots. If someone does not treat you well, move on, meet new people, build new relationships. Don't judge an entire country based on one bad experience. To everyone in the African diaspora, I want you to know this. You are welcome in the motherland. This is a part of your heritage. This is a part of your history. I truly believe you should feel free to visit, investigate, buy land if that's your goal, build business and become part of African culture. The stronger our communication become, the stronger we all become. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comment below. I'll see you in my next video. Take care and God bless you.